On April 17th, 20 minutes before any public announcement, someone placed $760 million in short bets on oil. 20 minutes later, Iran's foreign minister announced that Strait of Hormuz was fully open. Oil crashed 11% in a single day, and whoever placed that trade walked away with an extraordinary profit. And this was actually the third time the exact same pattern played out in the space of a few weeks. March 23rd, 500 million in oil shorts placed 15 minutes before Trump announced he was delaying strikes on Iran. April 7th, $950 million in shorts placed hours before the US-Iran ceasefire was announced. April 17th, $760 million 20 minutes before the Hormuz opening call. 3 announcements, 3 massive positions placed just before each one. 3 enormous paydays for whoever is on the other side of those trades. The US Commodity Futures Trading Commission has now launched a formal investigation, and the question that nobody in the mainstream media is asking loudly enough is who in Trump's circle knew. Now, to set the scenario on where Hormuz stands right now, on Friday, markets exploded to the upside. US equities surged, oil tanked, treasury yields fell, all because Iran briefly announced that the strait was open for commercial shipping during the ceasefire period. The S&P 500 hit record highs. By Saturday morning, it was closed again. About 20 ships waiting to enter the Persian Gulf turned back towards Oman after Iran's military declared that the waterway was closed, with Revolutionary Guards sending radio messages directly to vessels that the strait was shut and no vessels were allowed to pass. Ships that were reportedly prepared to pay $2 million in tolls to transit were turned around mid-approach. Iran's parliament speaker Ghalibaf posted on X that Trump had made 7 specific claims in the space of 1 hour, and all 7 were false, adding that, quote, "They did not win the war with these lies, and they will certainly not get anywhere in negotiations either," end quote. And that whether the strait is open or closed is determined by conditions on the ground, not by social media posts. The last part is worth holding on to because Trump's social media posts have been moving markets in a very, very specific manner, in a very profitable direction, and someone keeps knowing about them in advance. On March 23rd, 500 million US dollars in oil futures were sold 15 minutes before Trump announced that he would delay attacks on Iran's infrastructure, triggering a 15% drop in crude. On April 7th, roughly $950 million in short positions were placed hours before the US-Iran ceasefire was announced. On April 17th, 7,990 lots of Brent crude futures worth about $760 million US dollars were sold within a single minute. 20 minutes before the Hormuz reopening announcement hit, Reuters confirmed that this is the 3rd such incident and that CFTC has launched a formal investigation specifically scrutinizing the March 23rd and April 7th transactions. And the thing is that this is textbook crony capitalism, the thing free market economists have warned about for decades. Free market only functions when participants have roughly the equal access to information. Price signals are how decentralized economies coordinate millions of buyers and sellers making decisions based on what they know. When someone with access to state-level intelligence, the kind of information that moves a global commodity by 10 to 15%, uses that knowledge to front-run public announcements, they're not just participating in a free market. They're looting it. They're extracting wealth directly from every other market participant who didn't have that information. And the mechanism enabling that extraction is the president's unique ability to move global commodity markets with a single post on Truth Social. Across these 3 trades alone, we're looking at roughly $2.2 billion in short positions placed in the minutes before market-moving announcements. The combined profit, even on conservative estimates of oil price movement, runs into hundreds of millions of dollars. Meanwhile, Trump keeps posting claims that Iran has agreed to things Iran publicly and immediately denies. He claimed Iran had agreed to suspend its nuclear program indefinitely. Iran's foreign ministry responded the same day that enriched uranium will not be transferred anywhere under any circumstances. He announced the strait was open and it was closed again by the next morning. This isn't a president getting details wrong in the fog of complex negotiations. It's a president making specific market-moving claims that are then contradicted by reality while unidentified parties collect on the move in the window between the post and the correction. Now, the CFTC investigation is real, but let's be honest about the likely trajectory. Powerful people connected to powerful administrations rarely face consequences for financial crimes that require proving intent and tracing anonymous derivative positions across opaque institutional accounts. The political convenient outcome is that the investigation concludes nothing actionable was found, and that will probably be the outcome unless public pressure in the US forces something different. The strait is closed again. The ceasefire expires in 3 days, and the same playbook appears to be still running. Watch what Trump posts this week and watch what happens to oil futures in the 20 minutes before he posts it. Because if the pattern holds, that alone tells you more about who's running the war than anything coming out of the Pentagon briefings. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends, because most people watching oil markets right now think they're reading geopolitics when what they're actually reading is someone else's trade book. Additionally, drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. I want to know if you think the CFTC investigation actually goes anywhere. See you in the next one.